I'll read from the board up here. Goal 1, in the state of Oregon set of 19 planning goals, Goal 1 addresses the importance of citizen participation as well as open and accessible public meetings. Do you feel West Linn upholds these goals adequately? And if not, what would you do to increase dialogue between city and its citizens? And we'll start with Kevin Bright, please.
Planning by ambush generally fails as a community building exercise. From the perspective of a neighborhood president, our present public planning process is broken. The only mandated role of the neighborhoods in the pre-application presentation. In other words, the developer brings in, makes a presentation to the neighborhood association prior to even filing the development application with the city planning department. So it's not complete, it may not even be what he presents. And the next mandated part of the public process is 10 days before the Planning Commission hearing, we receive a notice. And if we're lucky, we'll actually receive a full packet, but even those have been amended. So whatever it is that the Planning Commission is examining and whatever the staff report is, we don't even receive as a neighborhood or as citizens, we don't receive all that information. We receive an amended version. I frequently have come up to City Hall and asked to see the full packet. I've made an appointment to do so, and when I came up here, nobody could find it. It wasn't available. So the idea that we have this codified process where the citizens come to a city council meeting, the applicant is given unlimited time to present their case. The staff is given unlimited time to present their case, which usually favors the applicant's proposal. And then the neighborhood representatives and citizens are given 5 minutes to give their defense of what they would like to see the development proceed and how they would like to see the code interpreted. And then the applicant is allowed to rebut that. And the idea that that process is somehow fair or complies with Goal 1 is ludicrous.
Thank you. Jody Carson.
In looking at recommendations from other cities in terms of what they do in terms of their compliance with Goal 1 and looking at Goal 1 as to what is required, I think the city does meet Goal 1. We provide forums, we provide information to people, we have a variety of methods to communicate with citizens. That being said, I think we could improve on that process. We need the letter of the law. That does not mean that we can't improve on that process. This last year, we've instituted 2 new procedures that I think have moved us in the right direction. We now have a logging system where citizens can get online and track where a request for action or a complaint, what the status of that is and who it's been signed to. City councilors can do the same thing. They can look online to see about that information. We've also instituted a new television system, which I think is working pretty well, but I'm sure it'll have its problems too. But where after a city council meeting, you can go to the agenda, click on the agenda item, it'll take you right to the place in the tape, and you can view that place in the tape and you can review the attachments that go with it. This is one step in the right direction. I think we need to continue to look for more and better ways to update citizens. If re-elected, I would like to suggest to the council that we have regular updates at each city council meeting on the status of projects. I think a lot of the reason people have think that we surprise them with things is that we don't give them regular updates. Things that we've talked about 3 years ago, all of a sudden come up again 3 years later, and there's been no updates in the interim. So I think there's lots of ways where we can provide more monthly updates to citizens on the status of projects. We can provide that information to them both online, orally, and also in newsletters or other venues. But I think we really need to increase the amount of communication. Thank you.
Thank you. Mike Jones.
Please remember that Goal 1 only pertains to planning, and public meeting law applies and governs other public meetings. I am confident that we adequately address Goal 1. As a member of the Planning Commission and the City Council, I talked to many people from many municipalities about this issue, and talked to many people who have interacted with our city and with other cities. The bottom line is we have a very well-educated, active group of individuals who are deeply interested in what occurs in West Linn. At times, their passion spills over, or our passion spills over, and we feel slighted, not because we weren't given a chance to be heard, but because we didn't feel that we were heard. Can we do better? Again, yes. We need to continue to strengthen the CCI, the Commission for Citizen Involvement. We need to ensure that the council is setting goals related to our planning processes and that those goals are clearly communicated. We need to ensure that citizens who have a concern about access to planning information are heard, and those concerns are, in some manner, reviewed by the City Council.
Thank you. Gail Holmes.
Well, as I stated before, I'm on the board for the Open Oregon, and our goal is to always make sure that we are having that open access with government. I believe Westland does a good job with their open meetings, but the access to the documents really needs improvement. I'd like to see more planning with citizens, not to be looked at as a rubber stamp, because so often things come to your neighborhood association and we get this presentation, but really how much say do we have? So instead we need to solve problems together and not be just items thrown at us and then we say okay and then that's the end of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Cayman Bright.
I think that the Westland City Councilors and staff should be open for public questions as often as possible. One way for this to happen would be if councilors could take just a few hours out of their week to be at City Hall so that the public could come to City Hall and actually speak face-to-face with their councilors. This would give the city a chance to better connect with their councilors and for the councilors to better connect with the citizens. As a councilor, I would make myself available for questioning at group forums such as neighborhood associations and any others such as boards and committees.